When the world gets chaotic, your home becomes your fortress. That's the prepper way, right? But what if the biggest threats aren't the obvious ones? What if your own preparations put a giant target on your back? We're about to pull back the curtain on 7 little-known tricks that veteran preppers use to make their homes nearly invisible and unbreachable during a crisis. These aren't your run-of-the-mill tips about stacking beans and bullets. These are the secret hacks that could make all the difference when staying put is your only move. Look, most of the time, bugging in, just staying right where you are, is the safest and most realistic plan in most disasters. Your home has supplies, shelter, and a defensive edge. You lose the second you try to bug out, but that advantage is only as strong as your strategy. We're going to get into the clever, low-key tactics that turn a regular house into a true safe haven without screaming "prepper inside" to the whole neighborhood. We'll cover security, sanitation, and managing your resources in ways you've probably never thought of. Let's get to it. Hack 1, the invisible wall. Perimeter funneling. A classic rookie mistake is making your house look like Fort Knox. Barred windows and sandbags don't deter people. They advertise that you have good stuff inside. It's an open invitation. The real goal isn't just stopping an intruder, but steering their approach without them even knowing it. You want to make your property a pain to sneak around, guiding any opportunists toward one spot while setting up a trap for anyone more determined. This is where perimeter funneling comes in. Instead of a big wall, you use your own yard to create an invisible one. It's both a physical and psychological hack. Start by walking your property line and thinking like an intruder. Where's the path of least resistance to your doors and windows? Now, make it a hassle. Plant some dense, thorny bushes like holly or barberry under your windows. They look nice, but they're a painful obstacle for climbers. Use some decorative fencing, rock gardens, or even forgotten yard junk to subtly steer visitors away from back doors and toward a single obvious entrance, the one you can easily watch from inside. You can take this a step further with a little mind game. A simple "beware of dog" sign is a cheap and powerful deterrent, even if you don't have a dog. In a bio-threat situation, some preppers even suggest leaving a couple of official-looking biohazard bags near the curb. To the average person, your house now seems either contaminated or just too much work. You've built a powerful defense without picking up a single tool. It's all about making them look for an easier target, and that's your first win. Hack 2, the Greyman Protocol. Hiding in plain sight. In a long-term crisis, the most dangerous reputation you can have is the prepared one. When desperation kicks in, the neighbor who saw you hauling in MREs or putting up a huge solar array starts to see you as the solution to their problems. The goal isn't to look tough, it's to look just as miserable as everyone else. This is the Greyman Protocol, and it's all about blending in and attracting zero attention. It starts with how you store your preps. Instead of lining up those big blue water barrels in the backyard, think smaller. Use rain barrels painted to match your house or hidden behind a trellis with vines. Don't keep all your food in one giant pantry. Get creative with hidden storage, a false bottom in a closet, a hollow space behind a big picture frame, or even burying airtight containers in your garden. This idea extends to how you live. If the power's been out for weeks and your house is the only one lit up, you're sending a signal. Use power sparingly. Use blackout curtains like your life depends on them. If you cook outside, pick a method that doesn't create a lot of smoke or smell. Don't wear your clean, nice clothes if you have to go out. The Greyman philosophy is about strategic camouflage. You have everything you need, but to the outside world, you're just another person struggling. This social invisibility is as important as a deadbolt. Hack 3, the Hydra Cache distributed stockpiling. Every prepper's nightmare is a home invasion where years of careful preparation are gone in minutes. The root of the problem is keeping everything in one spot. Most people have a single prepper pantry in the basement or garage. If someone breaks in and finds that room, it's game over. They've won the lottery and you've lost everything. The answer is to think like a hydra. Cut off one head and another appears. This is the idea of distributed caching. Never keep all your vital supplies in one location. Create several small, hidden stashes all over your property. That way, if one stash gets found, it's a small setback, not a total disaster. You might lose some supplies, but you'll have more than enough left. To keep going, think outside the box for hiding spots. A few cans of food and a water filter can be sealed in a bag and tucked away in your attic's insulation. A small medkit can be vacuum sealed and hidden inside a hollowed-out book or piece of furniture. You can even use capped PVC pipes buried in your garden. Keep a decoy pantry with a few weeks of food for daily use. If looters find it, they'll think they've hit the main stash and are more likely to leave, while your real long-term supplies remain safe and sound. Coming up, we're getting into some advanced tactics for setting up a last resort defense and dealing with sanitation when the grid is totally gone. If you're getting some good ideas here, do us a quick favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel reach more people who need this info. Thanks for that. Now, let's jump into hack number 4. Hack 4, the 15-minute fortress, the instant safe room. Even with the best perimeter, a determined group might still find a way in. When that happens, you need a planned, defensible spot to fall back to. We're not talking about $1 million panic room. The problem is, most people don't have a designated spot, so when a break-in happens, it's just chaos. The solution is what I call the instant safe room. Find the best room in your house and get it ready to be fortified in minutes. Ideally, this is a room with a solid door, no windows, and is somewhere in the middle of the house, like a walk-in closet or a small bathroom. Before a crisis, you get it prepped. First, replace the flimsy little screws in the door hinges and strike plate with heavy-duty 3-inch screws that dig deep into the wall stud. Inside this room, you keep a safe room kit. This is a backpack with essentials for a 24/72-hour holdout. A water filter, food bars, a first aid kit with trauma gear, a portable toilet, a battery-powered radio, a flashlight, and self-defense tools. The last piece is a door security bar. You can wedge this under the doorknob and brace it against the floor, making it almost impossible to force the door open. You can set it up in seconds. With these preps, a closet becomes a fortress in under 15 minutes. If your outer defenses fail, you can fall back, barricade the door, and buy yourself the time you need to figure out your next move. Hack 5, the ghost flush. No plumbing sanitation. This is the hack nobody likes to talk about, but it's one of the most important. In any disaster that knocks out the grid for more than a few days, sanitation is gone. Toilets won't flush and waste piles up. This isn't just gross, it's a biological time bomb that can spread diseases like cholera. Most people's plan for this is basically dig a hole, which isn't good enough. The solution is a layered, waterless sanitation system. The easiest method is the twin bucket system. One bucket is for liquids, the other for solids. You line the solids bucket with a heavy-duty trash bag. After each use, you cover the waste with a scoop of sawdust, cat litter, or dirt to manage the smell and help it dry out. When the bag is about 2/3 full, you seal it tight and store it in a secure spot outside, far away from your living area. To save even more water, stop washing dishes. Stock up on disposable plates and cutlery. It feels wasteful now, but the water you save is way more valuable in a crisis. A big supply of soap, hand sanitizer, and bleach is non-negotiable for keeping surfaces clean and stopping germs. History shows that in disasters, disease is often a bigger killer than violence. Hack 6, the Trinity of Redundancy: water, power, and food. The average prepper stockpiles stuff. The veteran prepper builds redundant systems. The problem with just stockpiling is that you have single points of failure. What if your water gets contaminated? What if your generator breaks? What if pests get into your food? One bad break can wreck your whole plan. The solution is the Trinity of Redundancy, where you have backups for your 3 core pillars: water, power, and food. Let's start with water. Layer 1 is stored water, at least 2 weeks worth. Layer 2 is a high-quality filter, like a gravity filter. Layer 3 is a collection method, like a rain barrel system. If one layer fails, you still have 2 more. Do the same for power. Layer 1 could be a stockpile of batteries. Layer 2, a small solar power bank for charging devices. Layer 3, a bigger solar setup or a gas generator with a safe fuel supply. For food, Layer 1 is your rotating pantry of everyday foods. Layer 2 is learning skills like how to identify edible plants in your area. Layer 3 might be the ability to hunt or fish for small game. Of course, that means you need to know how to actually catch, clean, and cook it safely. This Trinity: store, filter, collect for water, batteries, solar, generator for power, pantry, forage, hunt for food, is what separates the amateurs from the survivors. It's not about having one plan, it's about having three. Hack 7. The micro drill mindset. Forging skills under pressure. This last hack is maybe the most overlooked, and it has nothing to do with your gear. It's all about you. The biggest issue in prepping is something called gear delusion. The idea that just owning the equipment means you're capable. You can have the best fire starting kit in the world, but if you've never tried making a fire in the pouring rain with numb hands, you don't have a skill. You have a fancy paperweight. When a crisis hits, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. The answer is the micro drill mindset. Forget about those huge 72-hour bug-in drills that nobody ever actually does because they're too much of a pain. Instead, break your practice down into tiny, frequent micro drills. This weekend, your drill is to test your water filter. Go find some nasty puddle water and see if you can actually make it drinkable. Next week, try starting a fire using only the ferro rod from your emergency bag. Pick one piece of gear and test it. Cook a meal for your family using only your camp stove. Try to patch up a fake wound using only what's in your first aid kit. These little drills might only take 30 minutes, but they do two critical things. First, they build real muscle memory and confidence. Second, they show you the weaknesses in your gear and your plans before your life is on the line. This constant low-level practice is what forges real-world skill. Gear is just a tool. A trained mind and practiced hands are what will really keep you safe. These 7 hacks are all about building a smarter, more resilient bug-in plan. It's about being invisible, having backups, and being truly skilled. Now, we want to hear from you. What are the secret bug-in hacks that you swear by? Share your best tips in the comments below. Let's build a community of knowledge that can help everyone be better prepared. And if you haven't yet, please like this video and hit that subscribe button, then ring the bell so you don't miss our future guides. All right, let's do a quick rundown of the hidden hacks we covered. First, we used perimeter funneling to make our homes invisible targets. Second, we adopted the Greyman Protocol to hide in plain sight. Third, we protected our supplies with the Hydra Cache System. Fourth, we created a last-ditch defense with the 15-minute fortress. Fifth, we dealt with the threat of disease with a ghost flush sanitation plan. Sixth, we built real security with the Trinity of Redundancy. And finally, we sharpened our most important survival tool, ourselves, with the micro drill mindset. Remember, bugging in isn't about just sitting and waiting. It's an active, smart strategy that involves layers of security and practice skills. The goal isn't just to survive, but to do it from a position of quiet strength. By using these hacks, you're not just stocking a pantry, you're turning your home into a real fortress that can handle whatever comes its way. Stay safe, stay smart, and stay prepared.